My stepmother burned the photos of my late mother and said, "This house needs new energy, not useless ghosts." I didn't react, I just started organizing the original probate documents. 2 months later, she discovered that the house never belonged to my father and that she had 48 hours to leave. I am 34F, and my mother died when I was 8. My father remarried when I was 12 to Linda, now 56, who moved into the house my maternal grandparents left me in trust. My father managed it until I turned 25, then full ownership transferred to me, but he kept living there with Linda because I had my own place and honestly didn't care. Fast forward to last November when my father passed suddenly at 61, and Linda started acting like she owned everything. She redecorated immediately, threw out my dad's belongings within 3 weeks, and I let it slide because grief is complicated. Then one Saturday in January, I stopped by to pick up some of my father's tools from the garage and found her in the backyard burning photos in a metal drum. I walked closer and saw my mother's face curling in the flames, at least 40 pictures from albums ID stored in the attic. I asked what she was doing, and Linda turned to me with this satisfied smile and said, "This house needs new energy, not useless ghosts cluttering my space." I stood there for maybe 90 seconds just watching the fire, then asked if she was finished. She laughed and said, "Finally got rid of all that dead woman's junk." So yes. I nodded, went inside, collected the tools I came for, and left without another word. That night, I pulled the original trust documents, the deed, and the property transfer records from my safe deposit box. The house was mine, legally and completely, since 2015 when I turned 25, titled solely in my name with documentation signed by both my grandparents' estate attorney and my father as trustee. Linda had zero claim, zero rights, and apparently zero idea because my father never told her. I called my attorney Monday morning, explained the situation with the photos and her assumption of ownership, and asked what my options were. He said I could issue a notice to vacate immediately since she had no legal grounds to remain and wasn't on any deed, lease, or title. I had him draft a formal eviction notice citing trespassing on private property, giving her 48 hours to remove her belongings, and I had it served by a sheriff's deputy on Wednesday afternoon. My cousin told me Linda called him screaming that I couldn't throw her out of her home, demanding he talk sense into me. He replied, "It was never yours, Linda. You were a guest," and hung up. She tried contesting it, hired some bargain attorney who took one look at the trust documents and the deed and told her she had no case whatsoever. She called me directly Thursday night, yelling that I was cruel and heartless and that my father would be ashamed. I asked her if burning my mother's photos showed respect for family, and she went silent for about 10 seconds before hanging up. Friday morning, she showed up with a moving truck, packed her things while glaring at me through the windows, and left without speaking. I changed the locks that afternoon, installed security cameras, and spent the weekend slowly going through the house room by room. I found 6 more boxes of my mother's things Linda had shoved into the crawl space, including her wedding dress and my baby blankets. My aunt helped me restore some of the rooms to how they looked before Linda's redecorating spree, and we rehung several photos of my mother in the hallway. Linda tried reaching out twice through mutual friends saying she had nowhere to go and asking if we could talk like adults. I replied through my attorney that she had 9 years of rent-free living to save money, and that her housing situation wasn't my responsibility. Last I heard, she is staying with her sister 4 hours away and telling everyone I am vindictive. My cousin says she's been complaining on social media about ungrateful stepchildren, but she never mentions the photos or why I actually asked her to leave. Some relatives think I should have given her more time or let her stay a few months, but I can shake the image of my mother's smile burning. Was I wrong to move that quickly?